Hi everyone! So today we are going to be covering the epidemiology basics of COVID-19. COVID-19 is a type of infectious disease that is caused by a novel coronavirus. Diseases are typically considered novel when they have not been previously identified before. However, in this particular circumstance, we knew that COVID-19 was present in animals, but we did not know that it would turn zoonotic and be able to be transmitted to humans as well. And just to clarify, this is not the same type of coronavirus that typically causes the common cold in humans. There are many different types of human coronavirus that are present that can cause just mild illness. However, we did note that COVID-19 was a brand new disease that was caused by a novel virus that was not previously seen in humans before. While most people with COVID-19 do end up experiencing mild to moderate respiratory illness, there are some individuals who are higher risk, including those who suffer from cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, chronic respiratory diseases, and cancer. However, as we know, over the past couple of years, we have seen that anybody can become severely ill and can die from COVID-19 infection. So in case you don't know, COVID-19 primarily spreads through droplets from an infected individual's mouth or nose. This can be done through coughing, sneezing, speaking, singing, or breathing. But the droplets can vary in size. They can be large or small, but overall, mask wearing has continuously proven to be a beneficial way of preventing the spread. However, it does depend on the type of mask that is being worn. While cloth masks are not the best at preventing the spread of COVID-19, KN95s or just N95s do a great job, as proven in several scientific research studies. Normal surgical masks also do a sufficient job as well, but the N95 does offer the highest level of protection. However, the CDC has said multiple times that surgical N95 masks need to be reserved for healthcare providers only. So what can we do to prevent the spread of COVID-19? The first on the list is to get vaccinated. And as of January 2023, there are 4 different vaccines that are available throughout the United States. The first one being Pfizer's mRNA vaccine, the second being Moderna's mRNA vaccine, the third being Novavax's COVID-19 vaccine, which is a little bit different. That one is a protein subunit vaccination. And then there's also Johnson & Johnson's COVID-19 vaccine, which is considered a viral vector vaccine. However, out of this group, it has been proven multiple times that the mRNA vaccines have been the most effective. And the National Institute of Health has actually recently launched a clinical trial of 3 different mRNA HIV vaccines. So mRNA technology has been proven to be extremely effective throughout the scientific community and within the healthcare world, so I'm very excited to see where that goes in the future. Additionally, to prevent the spread of COVID-19, you can also distance yourself from other individuals, and when this is not possible, you can always wear a mask, like I mentioned before. Also, continuously washing your hands with soap and water is extremely effective, and if that is not an option, hand sanitize. And then also cover your mouth when coughing and sneezing, and if you are sick, always stay home. At this point, a lot of us know the answer to this question, but the basic symptoms of COVID-19 infection include fever, cough, tiredness, and loss of taste and smell. However, some more serious symptoms can include difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, loss of speech, mobility, or confusion, as well as chest pain. So if you're experiencing any of these symptoms and you have COVID-19 infection, please seek medical attention immediately. And when do these symptoms usually show? Well, on average, we have noticed that it takes about 5 to 6 days for these symptoms to appear. And this is after initial contact with somebody who has tested positive for the virus. So after the emergence of COVID-19, we really saw an increase in public health interest as well as epidemiology field interest. So when COVID started, epidemiologists immediately worked and figured out how to identify the different sources of outbreaks, monitor and track the disease, as well as study it and figure out how it's transmitted, incubation periods, etc., and then also develop guidance on how to slow the spread and what we can do to prevent mortalities. So let's look at different epidemiological trends. This graph shows the weekly trends in number of COVID-19 cases throughout the United States that have been reported to the CDC. This covers data all the way from January 2020 all the way up until January 11th, 2023. And as we can see, in January of 2022, we had the largest surge in cases by far. There was over 5 million cases during this time. Alright, so this next chart, which was also provided by the CDC, shows weekly deaths on that exact same scale. And as we can tell, primarily throughout the winter seasons, we have seen a surge in cases as well as deaths. So when you compare these two charts, you can see some similarities. At the time of filming this video, it is January 22nd, 2023, so we are not currently in one of these very large surges. But as we know, the situation is rapidly changing and evolving, so we never really know what the future is going to hold. Now let's look at these cases on a local scale. This is another map provided by the CDC, and you can go in to each individual state and figure out levels of community transmission. So as of right now, most of the counties throughout North Carolina are either high or medium transmission, which is relatively alarming because we could be on the verge of another surge. However, there are a couple of counties to the west that are still in the low category, and there are two on the eastern side that are in the low category as well. So continuing with epidemiology, let's look at the currently circulating variants of concern. So now, predominantly what we're seeing is the Omicron variant. As we can see here, there's also the earliest documented samples on file. This comes from multiple countries in November of 2021. So the Omicron variant has been circulating for a while. Additionally, we can see the changes that happened in the amino acid, as well as some other important information. Now let's look at the variants of concern that have been previously circulating that we may be relatively familiar with. The first one being covered on this list is the Alpha variant, which was first documented in the United Kingdom in September 2020. Then we move on to the Beta variant, which was found in South Africa in May of 2020, the Gamma variant, which occurred in Brazil in November of 2020, as well as the Delta variant, which was found in India in October 2020 as well. So all of these previously circulating variants of concern did occur throughout the year 2020, and Omicron appears to be the only predominant variant of concern that we are currently dealing with. So times have definitely changed. Thank you all for watching this video, and I will be covering the epidemiology surrounding pneumonia and influenza in the future.